97th Annual Vancouver International Car Show kicked off on Tuesday. More than 40 international automakers gathered under one roof in downtown Vancouver. For automobile lovers, the show offers an experience similar to that of a child in a huge candy store. It gives car lovers a chance to see the latest models and gives car makers the opportunity to make their best pitch to prospective buyers.
The largest show of its kind in Western Canada. It covers about 300,000 square feet of show floor space and is welcoming about 100,000 visitors over the week. It's also featuring 15 regional, national, and North American vehicle debuts.
This year's show includes several debuts of models not yet seen in North America. Jason Hurd, the show's executive director, said many automakers have trimmed bulk and weight with their latest models, leading to better fuel economy.
What we really do is encourage people to come in, get in the cars, climb around them, really figure them out and see what different technology. They all kind of go off on different patterns and different tangents and really take a look at which technology is going in the direction that you feel comfortable with. So it's really fun and cool.
Auto sales across Canada have been surging. In 2016, Canadians purchased nearly 2 million new vehicles, setting a new record. Just under 215,000 of those vehicles were purchased in the province of British Columbia, which is now #1 in the entire country in new car sales. The 97th Vancouver International Auto Show also features exotic supercars, a collection of restored vintage vehicles, and the latest in hybrid and electric vehicles. The Bangkok International Motor Show is always a popular event in the car lovers' calendar, drawing a mixed crowd of auto enthusiasts. The show draws over 70 international exhibitors in the automotive and related industries. It also offers many activities ranging from rallying to off-road competitions and car auto shows. There is a wide variety of cars on show from local clubs and more. The event covers 167,000 square meters, including an impressive 60,000 square meters indoor space. The Thai Automobile Association predicts that Thailand's total domestic car sales are expected to rise by 4.06% to 800,000 units. This is the first rise in 5 years. The 38th Bangkok International Motor Show opens to public from March the 29th to April the 9th. Dozens of Palestinian children staged a show in Gaza to celebrate the Palestinian Land Day, which falls on March the 30th. This year, many singers performed who said, "We have forgotten the homeland." Lifestyles has a story. The children gave folk and traditional performances to show the meaning of the Land Day and communicate the story of Palestinians and their love for the land.
The whole celebration aimed to show our adherence to our land. We want to emphasize our identity that we belong to this land, and this land belongs to us. The children are the future. They will hold the banner for freedom and lead us to independence. We want them to know about their cause and rights. That is why the whole show was performed by children.
Palestine Liberation Organization made March the 30th an official day to stage protests against Israel's annexing of Palestinian land, calling it the Land Day.
We want to send a message to the world through this show that Palestine is united and will always remain united. Our heritage will remain and our land will return to us. We will live on this land forever.
Palestine has been divided into two parts after the Arab-Israeli War in 1948. Following the creation of the State of Israel in that year, Palestinians have called for an independent state in historical Palestine. Peace talks in 1993 gave the Palestinians land where they enjoy certain sovereignty. However, since then, Israel has continued to create settlements in the occupied West Bank, despite international criticism. Many Palestinians see the move as a land grab and an obstacle to statehood.
This is a combination of sadness and happiness. It is sad because it reminds us of our stolen land, and happy because we show adherence to our land on this occasion.
UN Secretary General has called for continued support to Jordan in the country's efforts to provide aid to Syrian refugees. Let's take a look. Antonio Guterres made remarks during his visit to Al Zatari refugee camp in Jordan on Tuesday. The UN chief visited projects run by UN agencies for some 80,000 residents of the camp. These include a UN women-run project that gives women working opportunities in manufacturing school uniforms and sewing kits. He visited a school run by the Jordanian government and UNICEF, as well as an UN refugee agency-funded project that focuses on girls' education.
You can imagine my feelings and my emotions after having been for 10 years High Commissioner for Refugees. How sad it is, how terrible it is that today we still have Zatri camp full with Syrian refugees, and that the tragedy of Syria is going on and on and on.
Guterres made an appeal for peace to the parties involved in Syria's conflict. He said the crisis had become a tragedy not only for the Syrian people, but also a threat to the stability of the region and the world. Somalia is suffering a severe drought, which is threatening half of the country's 12 million population. The UN and international aid agencies are calling for more support, adding to the aid already delivered to the worst affected areas. Water and pasture shortages have displaced hundreds of thousands of people across Somalia. They have left their homes in search of food and water. Displacement in the country had already been increased by the long-standing violence. Many of the families affected by the drought have been forced to move to the distribution centers run by humanitarian agencies, as aid cannot reach areas under the control of Al-Shabaab. The terrorist organization is still fighting the Somalia National Army and African Union forces in some rural areas. 26-year-old mother Nalo Noura Mustaf suffered the loss of one of her children, who died of hunger. Both her grandfather and uncle also died of starvation. She had to flee her home in Lower Shabelle region with her 3 children, seeking food and shelter to save the others from a similar fate. She arrived at the Al Adala camp last Saturday. Mustaf is one of the nearly 300 families who recently arrived at the camp, located at 13 kilometers away from the capital Mogadishu. Over 1,100 families have already moved there. However, her 30-year-old husband decided to stay behind to take care of their home and recover from illness. It is not the first time Mustaf has left her home due to the drought, having done so in 2011 before going back once the situation improved. However, she said the current one is the worst she has ever experienced.
We kept a total of 5 goats and 10 heads of cattle, but we lost them because of the current drought. They all died for lack of pasture and water. The animals were our livelihood, but they were all gone. So we had to flee from hunger and thirst. It was not used to be like this. In 2011 drought, we still had some water flowing in the river, but now there's no water at all, and there's absolutely nothing to eat.
The makeshift shelters made from food and plastic bags continue to fill the empty spaces in the camp as the number of displaced people increases. The camp currently runs on donations from local residents and businesses and is in desperate need of additional humanitarian aid. Despite the challenges, Mustaf is grateful for the aid she has received, describing the assistance as life-saving. The U.S. High Commissioner for Refugees reported some 257,000 people in Somalia were displaced due to the drought between November 2016 and February 2017. Most of the newly displaced people are moving into urban areas and joining existing settlements or establishing new ones. Others are crossing into neighboring countries. Zimbabwe's Tshilatsho district has been the worst hit by floods from the cyclone Daniel. Currently, more than 800 people are in temporary accommodation after the natural disaster destroyed their houses, property, and livestock. The flood victims started to settle at the camp on February the 19th after being airlifted from their flooded homes. They're expected to stay there until May.
The rains have stopped, but the biggest challenge we are facing right now is food lacking.
The heavy rains affecting Zimbabwe since January have left 271 people dead, 128 injured, and nearly 2,000 homeless. The Civil Protection Unit said nearly 2,600 homesteads were damaged in varying degrees. Many roads, schools, and health and water infrastructures were also destroyed. The Zimbabwe National Water Authority said over 100,000 people are without safe drinking water after the water supply infrastructure was damaged. Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe on March 2nd declared a state of flood disaster, leading to a domestic and international appeal for nearly $189 million. The aid will be used for victims and to help repair infrastructure.
We want to be relocated to a better place. This is the second time that people were forced to rebuild their homes. Living in these tents is so unbearable, and we're dying of hunger.
Chinese government has announced that it will donate $1 million to help the victims. Diamonds, especially colored diamonds, have a certain special something attracted to many people. In Hong Kong, a sparkling plum-sized pink diamond is getting unprecedented levels of attention. Let's take a look. Sotheby's auction house has said the pink star diamond is expected to break world records for gemstones when it goes under the hammer in Hong Kong next week. The pink star is a 59.60 carat diamond, the largest in its class ever graded by the Gemological Institute of America, or GIA. Sotheby's is confident the pink star will sell for a record price on April the 4th, somewhere above $60 million. The sparkling oval-cut rock measures 2.7 by 2.1 centimeters and weighs 11.9 grams. Mined by De Beers in Africa in 1999, the 132.5 carat rough diamond was meticulously cut and polished for over 2 years, transforming it into a stunning 59.60 carat gemstone. The pink star has received the highest color and clarity grades from GIA for pink diamonds and is classed in a rare subgroup of less than 2% of all gem diamonds. Winnie the Pooh, also known as Pooh Bear, is a popular fictional character created by English author A.A. Milne. Originally a British creation, the figure is now popular with children all over the world. And now Winnie the Pooh fans are getting an opportunity to feel the new material on the character. Hong Kong will display 92 exquisite Winnie the Pooh artifacts from the Walt Disney Archives and the first large-scale Winnie the Pooh Be My Friend. The exhibition will take place in Times Square. Over 50 historical artifacts related to the famous Winnie the Pooh figure will be on display for the first time.
The guests and our fans get very excited to see them on display, so we show them at our exhibits.
The Walt Disney Archives has safeguarded the most treasured items, including original scripts, movie props, and theme park artifacts. A manager at the collections and exhibits in the Walt Disney Archives said the exhibition will display 6 original drawings by author A.A. Milne. The image of Winnie the Pooh was transformed over the years in line with the styles of designers and changing tastes of readers and audiences. The exhibition will run till April the 23rd with 8 meet-and-greet sessions for fans to take photos with Winnie. In Johannesburg, shoppers at the Rosebank Mall were delighted by school children performing music with outstanding rhythmic beats. The students' live concert was a distinct blend of Western instruments and traditional African drumming. Lifestyles has the details. These young performers from Soweto Marimba Youth League, or SMYLE, surprised audiences with their marimbas, steel drums, and African djembes. Shoppers stopped to listen to their energetic and authentic music show. The program is offered to underprivileged children in the Soweto township of South Africa. However, it's not just a music program, but also an academic enrichment project that provides supplemental math classes to all its participants. The program uses music performance as a method for teaching learners discipline, teamwork, and commitment to a common goal. It also aims to show children that hard work can lead to positive outcomes.
Smile is based at Forte High School, which is in the Dobsonville area of Soweto. But our kids come from currently 7 different high schools around Soweto. And so what we do is we work with the various schools to get the kids to come to Forte for the practices. The kids themselves are very talented, very gifted, but they don't get music in school. So what I do is I'm trying to get the kids to focus on their math and English, their reading. And so they want the music, I want the math. In order for them to get the opportunity to perform, they have to actually participate in our supplemental math program.
Children have the access to a very wide range of instruments, allowing them to produce a rich and unique blend of sound.
The instruments that we use are a blend of African and overseas instruments. The main instrument is, of course, the marimba, which is the equivalent of a wooden xylophone. We then blend that with a combination of your traditional drum kit and the African hand drum, which is also called a djembe. We also add the steel pan being the bottom of an oil drum.
The program not only offers children an opportunity to perform, but also gives these underprivileged students some much-needed support and way to gain some independence.
And on a day like today when they're performing, these are kids who don't have access to 3 meals a day. And so they'd be performing here and they would earn some pocket money and they get the meals to try and help sustain them, to encourage them to continue to develop into the adults that we want them to be in the future.
My name is Tulofelo Mfahlele and this is Soweto Marimba Youth League, and marimba comes from Africa. We use our own knowledge and strength to play it, so the sound comes from the wood, and it's very challenging because in life you have to go for something that's really challenging and not easy. They are all challenging but in their ways, so it's up to you how you find it. It helps us by keeping us off the streets.
When I play my favorite instrument, I feel so relaxed and all my troubles disappeared. Just like listening to music through your earphones, feeling like everything goes away, only me and my instrument.
It's not nothing, it's just me and my instrument.
This program gives disadvantaged children opportunities to improve their skills, help them to be independent, and cultivate their love for music. Technology is changing the world we live in, from driverless vehicles to supercomputers able to replicate a human's ability to answer questions. Many have witnessed the achievement accomplished by robotic technologies. Today, Lifestyles will show you the development of robotic technology and how it affects human lives. Robotic technology development started in the 1950s, and today, this technology has been applied in various industries. The Spanish Center for Scientific Investigation, or CSIC, is playing a key role in a major international project, which is developing robots to make the process of clearing mines both faster and safer. The prototype has robotic arms in its front and a metal detector in its rear. It can scan the area and send a message to its base about the possible location of the mines.
As it has 6 legs, the robot can then carry on walking. If there is a mine, it can jump over it and continue with its work. It can move at around 0.3 meters a second.
The robotic technology is also widely applied in the area of medical treatment. Intuitive Surgical, an American company majoring in robotic-assisted minimally invasive surgery, and Fosun Pharma, a healthcare group in Shanghai, have announced a joint venture to research, develop, and manufacture innovative robotic-assisted catheter-based medical devices. The Da Vinci surgical system features a 3D HD vision system for clear and magnified view inside patient's body. The instruments bend and rotate far greater than a human wrist. The surgeon controls the robot, which translates his or her hand movements into smaller, more precise movements of tiny instruments inside the patient's body. It allows surgeons to perform complex and routine procedures through a few small openings, similar to traditional laparoscopy. Bionic robotics is the application of biological methods and systems found in nature to the study and the design of robots. Shanghai University in East China has unveiled a slew of bionic robots. They include Amoeba, which tries to model on an amoeba, a type of cell on an organism that has the ability to alter its shape. X-Dog, a small and low-cost quadruped robot, can walk, jump, and run. It may resist impact while keeping balance. Traffball 1 and Traffball 2 are rolling balls with legs inside. The balls can stick out their legs to climb stairs or overcome barriers. There are also Pro-Go, Mini-Quad 5, and Crawler. The study group of Shanghai University seeks to make robots move like animals. At the 2016 World Robot Conference, or WRC, in Beijing, a mature, skilled human-like robot attracted great attention.
佳佳你好，你有男朋友吗？
你好，这个真没有。
佳佳你好，你会算数吗？1加1等于几？
这位先生，您笑起来的样子真好看。我会算一些简单的算术题。这个问题都不会的话，我不如拿块豆腐撞死。结果是2啊，很2的2啊。
This beautiful girl in traditional Chinese clothes have become a highlight. She's an intelligent robot named Jia, who looks very much like a real woman. The eye-catching robot was developed by a robot research and development team at the University of Science and Technology of China, or USTC, in Hefei capital of East China's Anhui province. It took the team 3 years to research and develop this new generation interactive robot, which can speak, show micro-expressions, move its lips, and move its body.
We selected dozens of girls in our university and finally chose 5 of them to form the facial model of Jia. Her skin is made of biomimetic materials, very close to human being. She even has blood vessel on her arms.
你知道北京的天气吗？
这个问题我要思考一下。北京天气阴，气温是7摄氏度至15摄氏度，东北风3至4级。
Compared with previous interactive robots, Jiajia's eyeballs roll naturally, and his speech is in sync with his lip movements, in addition to her human-like form.
When asking for weather, Jia has to search on the internet, which costs a certain time. It's a little bit difficult for her, so she said she has to think for a while. As a robot, she has a certain facial system, so when she is thinking, she has a certain facial expression.
专业的团队，丰厚的经验。Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the Lake Cook Law Group. 投资理财、法律咨询，芝加哥专业律师团队为您的梦想提供最安全的保障。
云天无际，承载梦想。中国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
Hello everyone, welcome to China Mosaic. I'm Pan Deng in Beijing. As the Ebola virus that plagued West Africa is only beginning to fade from people's memory, a new virus called Zika, transmitted by mosquitoes, is becoming a major concern. The WHO has warned that the Zika virus is now spreading explosively and could infect more than 4 million people in the Americas. Since the first Zika infection was reported in China on February the 9th, 9 cases of the infection have been confirmed as of February the 29th. Luckily, experts at the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention have successfully deciphered the genome of the country's first imported Zika virus. The PLA Academy of Military Medical Sciences also announced that on February the 21st, they directly retracted the Zika virus's genome sequence from an infected person's urine, making the first time that this kind of information was obtained through this process anywhere in the world. Researchers pointed out that obtaining the Zika virus's genome sequence could be compared to investigators detecting a suspect's DNA at a crime scene, because it provides vital evidence for studying the virus's origin and evolution, useful for helping with diagnosis as well as the development of an antivirus dose, antidote, and other medicines to tackle the virus. The Zika virus is transmitted to people primarily through the bite of an infected mosquito, but is also possibly transmitted by saliva, body fluids, and by a mother to her fetus during pregnancy. Academic circles hold the view that the Zika virus is closely linked with 2 severe neurological conditions, namely microcephaly, producing a child with a small head, and Guillain-Barré syndrome, capable of causing muscle paralysis. So far, Zika infections are known to exist in at least 36 countries, including the United States, Britain, Denmark, and China. China formally initiated a working mechanism against the Zika virus on February the 1st, and its measures are mainly targeted at the prevention and control of mosquito bites. Margaret Chan, the WHO Director General, said China has developed sound and effective measures to control the spread of the Zika virus. For mankind, which has been immersed by countless virus epidemics, fighting Zika will be a huge undertaking. Currently, many research teams, including those in China, have determined to develop a Zika vaccine. We're hopeful it would not be long until man can successfully control the virus and heal the affected patients. That's it for this edition of China Mosaic. I'm Pan Dong in Beijing. Bye-bye.